What do you do for a living?
I'm a police dispatcher.
You're a what?
A police dispatcher?
You're a police detective?
No, police dispatch.
Police dispatch. That's pretty cool. I think you said police detective, and I'm like, come on. Don't get shitty. You know, I got a young feminist group came after me for a joke I made about female police officers on the radio. They came at me hard for this jokes. I was making jokes about them, and they were furious. And I didn't get it. I got a lot more heat than I ever got on the internet, so I was like, you know what, let me take this joke around the country, and I'll tell it to audiences, and we'll let the market decide if it's so bad. And mostly people just laugh when I tell this. But I don't know, Dispatch, you might hate it. But for the most part, people just love it and laugh. But I will say, one night in Liberty Township, Ohio, a young white woman did solve the riddle for me of what's the problem with this joke. But first, I'll tell you what I said about the female cops. I was talking about the show Cops, and then I watched the show Cops a lot. Or I should say, I watched the show Cops a lot. They took it off the air, do you know that? They canceled Cops. Do you remember why? Black Lives Matter. Yeah, weird response, I thought. Like, oh, you're just gonna murder random black people? Well, then we're not gonna film it anymore. How about that? I'm like, I don't know if that's the right answer. No more witnesses, left to your own devices. I don't know, wait, cops, don't leave. Cops. But I was saying that I watched the show Cops a lot. And simply, if it's an episode where they're following a female police officer, that you should, Yo. That is deafening silence. I feel the women are already waiting to get angry. Don't do that. Submit to it. Let yourself... You know what? Let me give a little disclaimer before I jump right into this. I feel like everyone's on edge a little bit for this one. I set it up weird, for sure. But let me give some disclaimer and let you know about me, the person. Because I was called a misogynist for this, and this sucked. I hated getting called a misogynist because women are very important to me in my life. My entire support system, besides my stepfather, has been women my whole life. My mother and grandmother raised me for many years. I have amazing sisters. My daughter's unbelievable. My girlfriend, my ex-wife, all these women who've lined me up to be where I'm at. I would be nowhere without them. They're all amazing, and I think they could do anything in the world. But with that said, I watch the show Cops a lot, and if it's an episode where they're following a female police officer, all right, one more disclaimer. Let me give one, because separate the art from the artist for 5 seconds, could you? I believe, Jay Okerson, believes that a woman can do pretty much any job in the world that a man can do, at least as good, if not better. I think that's true. I think the best doctors in the world, the best lawyers, scientists, heads of business, industry, all could be women. President of the United States even, how about that? Yeah, a lot of people say they don't believe me when I say that, but I think it's very possible that a woman can do the job of President of the United States better than any man's ever done it. Yeah. But I watch the show Cops a lot, and if it's an episode where they're following a female police officer, don't go anywhere. Buckle yourself in and watch. It's going to be a good episode. Somebody's going to have to eventually be shot or tased to stop this poor woman from being windmilled down the street in her polyester outfit. It happens 100 out of 100 times, and it's funnier every time. They're scrappy, those girl cops. They're always in the bottom of the pile like, I had him! I had him! The dude cops are always like, beat it, Sharon. You're lucky we got here. It's like, Officer Sharon, and he's lucky you got here. Like, and I asked the question on radio. I had the audacity, I guess, to ask the question. This is the part, by the way. If you're wondering where this shit went left, it was this comment. I asked the question, besides checking pussies for drugs, which, by the way, is a job. Somebody has to check the pussies for drugs. Great place to hide drugs. I don't know if you know this, but if you get like black dick deep, there's like chambers and shit. Not me, I'm off front of the pussy, but I will say, while my dick is not big, it would be a lot of cocaine. You know what I mean? A felonious amount of cocaine. So someone's got to check the pussies for drugs. But besides checking pussies for drugs, I simply asked, what can a girl cop do? Yeah, shuts the room off. No guy wants to laugh at that or even think about it next to your furious lady. But what I'm just asking, can we put it in what's your name, dude?
Randall.
Randall? You're a big dude. Would you take a hypothetical walk with me real quick, bro? Thank you, Randall. Randall? Let's say you've committed some crimes, dude. But this is bad stuff, okay? I want you to picture you've done something fucked up. If the cops catch you, you're going away for a long time. I want to get you in the headspace. Let's say you killed a hooker by accident. You didn't mean to, but you never said the safe word. But you saw the lights go out, you piece of shit. But you didn't finish yet, and then you did finish, and you panicked, and you buried her shallow. Your prints and jizz are all over this thing. If they catch you, you're going away for a long time, dude. They got you dead to rights. You're on the run. But on this particular day, you fucked up. You let your guard down, and they got you. The cops have surrounded you. There's nowhere to run. Cop cars everywhere. But out of these cop cars emerge all female police officers. And they get on that speaker thing and they say some shit. They're like, me and my cop girlfriends are here to drink you. Like, come on, girls. Don't go for Randall, how many girl cops can you take, dude? Oh, wait. Before you answer, let me give you a little more information. Because I've asked this to a lot of crowds now at this point. Been a lot of Randalls. And oftentimes before they answer, they want to know one more piece of information. And that is, do they have guns? And it's a good question, and it might change your answer. And the answer, Randall, is yes, they do have guns. They're police officers, females no less. But before you change your answer, let's be honest, dude. They're not going to get those heavy-ass guns out of that complicated belt, dude. This is chicks we're talking about. We're talking about broads, dude. You'll be miles away by the time she two-hands that cannon out of her pocket. So we'll say guns are present, yes, but not a factor at all. How many, Randall? Throw me a number. Maybe two. Modest. I like that. Well, you thought you were probably going to impress the girls in here, but they still hate that answer. Anything over one they wouldn't accept. I'll get you off the hook, dude. For myself, I say no less than 101 female police officers. Bring them on. And everyone goes, no way, Jay, you're too fat, you're gonna run out of breath. But here's the thing, I got a pretty good plan in place, I think, Randall. I'm lining the first 100 up in 50 rows of 2, and I'm just walking down the middle chopping off heads, just double clotheslines down the pike. Pow. And then the 101st, that last one, I'm gonna practice unconventional wrestling moves on, you know what I mean? Real crowd pleaser shit you couldn't do with a guy. I'm gonna hold her up in a vertical suplex and work the audience. You fuckers what I said. You sick fucks want it. And then I'll casually check which cop car is working best and steal it leisurely. And I said all that on radio, and it went bad. I didn't get it, so I took it on the road, told it a bunch of places, and then one night, Liberty Township, Ohio, this young white girl follows me outside after the show. Tight ponytail, swinging, pretty girl, bitch face. She comes up next to me while I'm talking to people, and she goes, hey, asshole. And I knew she meant me, which sucked. There was a lot of assholes there, but I could tell that was... And if you guys know, you know, this is Skankfest, you guys know me. If you know me well enough from hearing me, you know, that girl goes, hey, asshole. I still turn around and go, hey, thanks for coming to the show. I'm like, fucking jerk off I sound like, hey, wacky show, right? I'm trying to be nice, and she goes, ew, no, you're disgusting. And she's trying to like humiliate me in front of these people. And I'm like, what's your problem, miss? Why are we fighting? And she told me. With her arms folded, she asked me the stupidest question I've ever been asked in my life. She showed me with this question what the problem was with this joke that I was getting into. And she meant this. No levity in her heart at all. Folded arms, waiting for an answer. She goes, you really think you could take on a 101 female police officer? Yeah. That was the whole problem. This dummy thought it was real. It's the dumbest question I've ever been asked in my life. The dumbest. And I'll tell you that when my daughter was 4 years old, she asked me if we're supposed to eat our own poop. Not even can we or should we, are we supposed to? With the tone of like she already tried it, didn't seem right. She wanted to run up the flagpole one more time with her old man, see what all the buzz was. Hey, Pop, we're not, yeah, right, I didn't think so. Okay, you're all right. All right, double checking. That's the second dumbest question now, because she was a child. There's an adult woman walked up to me and said, you think you can take on 101 female police officers? I went, no. And then we just kind of stared at each other for like 40 minutes. Like, it was weird. I'm like, no, like that, she didn't have anything beyond that. She's like, oh, that's what she needed, to not go home and write a letter. I go, you're going to hate comedy if that's the problem. Listen, comedy, some of it's real, some of it's bullshit, some of it's a hybrid of both. We have to rely on you, the audience, to be, dare I say, not retarded. You think you take on 100 female police officers? You're gonna leave every show pissed off. Why are we all laughing? That guy said he came so hard it blew a hole in that girl's head. It's a murder! We're all complicit! We know too much! Boyfriend's always gonna be like, I'll explain it later, man. I don't even do the thing. No, you're a killer! Some of it's real, some of it's bullshit, some of it's both. I don't know. I mean, you don't need 101 female police officers for a real example. One out-of-shape Ronda Rousey could probably beat me up in record time. I'd guess you couldn't start a stopwatch and how fast you'd have me begging for mercy. Make me call my dad and tell him I'm gay. I'm gay, Daddy, it's me. Oh, she's breaking my knee! Oh, God, your little boy's a princess. I am, it's him! It's him! That's real. But isn't it also funny sometimes? If someone's like, hey, how about Ronda Rousey? And I go, tell her to bring the two bitches she's most afraid of, and I'm gonna fuck all three of them up. How about that? I'm gonna make them kiss on camera afterwards. Yeah, kiss, you muscly sluts. It doesn't even matter what we say. It's all fictitious. We can put cigarettes out on them. Who cares? It's not real. So I say this in hopes that everyone leaves knowing, if maybe you didn't like some of the content or things I've been saying tonight, I hope it makes you feel better knowing that I know for sure I cannot beat up 101 female police officers. No way. Randall, I'm more like you, dude. I say 2, 3 maybe. I assume by that point they're gonna get a weapon or something, you know what I mean? Or maybe they'll put their bird brains together and get a dude. That's another way to solve it. Solve that whole female cop problem with one guy. Doesn't even have to be a guy cop, just some dude. Could be you, Randall. Doesn't have to be a hero. It's the most fun joke I've ever written, I'll tell you why. Because just when I'm reeling them back in, one more kick in the chaunch. Fuck you, bitch. I don't want to have to explain it every time.